I want to talk a little bit about one area that Ginkgo has been an expert in, which is infectious disease, right? Can you talk a little bit about the work you guys do here? And I think a question everybody cares about is like, are we prepared for another global pandemic? What has changed since COVID-19?
Yeah, I think like the reality is infectious disease is really scary and bad, right? But like the big lesson of COVID is modern healthcare systems and our current infrastructure does not render us immune, even in the developed world, from pandemic scale infectious disease, period. We don't just allow ourselves to not have defenses against things that are like society killers that are known to exist, right? Like this is not like a fanciful idea. Like it freaking happened 2 years ago, right? Like, so what should we build? Right. And the answer is like a lot of different things, right? Like we should build rapid vaccine response, which is really good through Operation Warp Speed and kind of what we figured out with mRNA vaccines. And just like, I got vaccines for the entire country in 3 months. Not every version of this thing is vaccinatable. The other one when we've been big believers in is like monitoring, like radar. I grew up in Florida, right? Like we have radar systems that warn us for hurricanes. Okay. My co-founder, Tom Knight, obviously a lot older than me, was explaining to me that when he was a kid, they would get 3 hours warning for a hurricane. Currently, we find out about Hurricane COVID after it has landed in New York City a week ago. Okay, like unacceptable, right? So one of the things we're doing is like with the CDC, we run programs, we collect wastewater from inbound airplanes and we sequence the DNA and we look for pathogens. We monitor variants and all this, both for flu and COVID, and I can add other things to that list. We have a similar program actually in Doha Airport in Qatar. We run a program in Ukraine, and think of these like bioradar stations, and that's get you baseline because you also you look for anomalies, right? So like that whole thing has been missing, and so we think that's like where you start, and then you want rapid response. You want to be able to like basically patch. Think like cybersecurity. Like it should feel like that's your answer. Right. Like cybersecurity, I think, is a bit the mental model for like what the future of infectious disease response looks like. Persistent monitoring, rapid response, kill it. And the beautiful thing is, and it's scary and beautiful, remember these things replicate. So if you can snuff it out at the beginning, you win. Like speed will matter, right?